Welcome everyone to the Dragoon Slayer podcast. I am the Blue Dragoon himself, Daniel the Dragon, and with me once again is the incomparable family man himself, James Haynes.
I am out of this sphere again, and let's see what we can talk about today. What are we talking about, Dan?
Well, let's see. What do we have? We're going to be discussing Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie. Yeah. We're also going to be discussing the finale of Invincible.
Yeah.
We have a very special look because we've got, 5, 6 episodes that we've been neglecting talking about for the boys.
Oh, boy.
And then, of course, we were going to go through the Wayback Machine. We're going to be discussing Labyrinth.
Yes.
But we are also going to be discussing, because I'm going to be doing it, because, once again, I'm not trying to compromise Jimmy's morals.
We're not touching the subject of Disney.
Well, you're not.
I am not. You can.
I'm going to have to, so I will be
God
talking
bless
about...
Kimmel.
Yeah. I will be talking about Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
In Season 2. But I do have a quick anime recommendation. Now, there's 2 anime I've been watching lately.
Right ahead, please.
One that I've been watching is Gals Can't Be Nice to Otaku. Now, I know it sounds weird.
No, it sounds funny.
No, but it's
like Earth Girls Are Easy. Girls can't be nice to otaku.
This is gals.
Gals can't be nice to otaku.
Yeah. So, and it's basically the story of this otaku guy who's in class with these 2 girls that they're gals, and gals are the gangrel girls that they stand out. They're not the same. They're not just the standard, like, fit into the crowd. Now, he has a very unique interest where he's obsessed with, like, a girls anime in the show. And it's like a very cutesy thing about collecting and drawing the characters. And it turns out that one of the girls is hyper obsessed with it, but she keeps saying it's for her little sister. And it's because her little sister watches. And he ends up becoming, like, friends with both of these 2 girls. It is not dubbed. It is subtitled only on Crunchyroll. It is absolutely worth it. Another one that is a subtitle only is I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in Class.
Not the first.
The second.
The second.
Yes. So the second prettiest girl in the class, it's basically the so-called second prettiest girl in the class has a very unique interest. Her hobbies line up with the main character, where he kind of doesn't fit in. People kind of look down on him because his interests are, like, he likes B movies and stuff. He stays by himself, not into, like, a bunch of the other stuff. And he ends up becoming friends with the second prettiest girl in class, and them keeping their, like, friendship kind of a secret, where they're hanging out after school, even though she's friends with, like, some of the other girls. And it's just a very interesting story. It's a lot of fun. I actually recommend both of these. And if you notice, I'm recommending 2 subbed only anime. So this goes to show you that if anybody wants to start that argument with me of sub versus dub, screw you. Watch how you want, enjoy how you want.
Yeah.
Now
also, while we were talking about dubbing and subbing and voices and everything, would you like to tell everybody what message came up on TikTok?
Oh, absolutely. I was absolutely in all my feels and so excited. I had to message Jimmy because Michaela Hoover, thank you, by the way, Michaela.
Thank you, Michaela.
We posted a clip on TikTok and everywhere, and on TikTok, Michaela Hoover actually liked and said thank you for the video talking about her performance as Chopper. Absolutely brilliant. I am so happy. I would love to be able to get an interview with her. I've actually reached out on TikTok. Who knows if that'll go anywhere, but still.
Thank you, Michaela. And listen, even that and a follow-up to, let's see, Superman also.
Yeah.
I know that, Miss Catherine Grant.
Yeah, she has a bunch of different projects, so I would love to be able to sit down and have a conversation with her about, like, the projects and, like, her method on how she does her performances. So
and now I'm going to make you laugh.
Go ahead.
Because I know you're getting set for, you'll probably somewhat get set for Anime New York.
Right now, things are up in the air. I have no...
So, I heard who's going to be there, thanks to my man...
Anime NYC.
And NYC.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
There goes the Tasmaniac again. Anime NYC. Thanks to my man Heath at BoobTube Toys. Remember... That back wall, buy 5, get 1 free, and you can look at his babies in the case, which are all the Sgt. Pepper Funkos. But anyway, his partner was telling me Zorro, the gentleman that plays Zorro, is going to be there. Now,
McKenna.
McKenna, did you hear about, you got to hear about his rider, his stipulations. One color, if it's gold, silver, black, white, blue, he'll sign it, he'll sign his name, that's it. Nothing else. You want to put in, he doesn't want no quotes, nothing else. That's it, plain, straight, and simple. I was like, really? So very interesting.
Actually, that makes sense, though, because with the popularity of the show, not only has he done One Piece, but he was also in the live-action Saint Seiya movie that had come out that we did talk about. So with that, he went, and I can understand, like, if there's going to be a long line of people wanting to meet him, especially after the sword fight with taking down 100 Baroque Works members.
Not 99, but 100.
That basically is going to be something where it's probably better for him to be able to make sure he gets to meet everyone.
Because he can autograph 100 people's pictures in
a lot less time than it would take to have to sit there.
And it probably costs less than, I just found out on Fanatics, what one celebrity cost. Let's put it this way.
Listen, I saw Fanatics Fest price list. It was ridiculous last year.
I'm going over $250 for an autograph signing and over $300 for autograph the combo. I'm like, are you freaking nuts?
That depends on who it is. Last year's Fanatics Fest, looking at the pricing that they were doing.
This was Barry Sanders.
Yeah, but I meant the WWE stars.
Oh, I don't even.
Those guys were over $500 for one, either an autograph or a photo with them. So, and the prices
I'm going to keep it G-rated right now because I'm ready to go off on that.
Yeah, listen.
I'm like, are you...
Look, the thing is, though, you have to remember, and we've talked about this before, you know, now with the licensing agreements and stuff, and like with SAG going, and now the residuals aren't the same because of streaming. So I understand, like, increasing the prices for stuff, but being able to be affordable to meet people and get their autographs is something that I think is actually really important.
Yeah.
Now, again, I get it. The rarity of certain things is a whole other thing, and you're never going to really be able to meet everybody you want.
Listen, I heard the take a few years ago was a C-note. That was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, Fanatics Fest.
But this was at the big event, NYC.
Yeah, but Fanatics Fest at the Javits Center, if you saw the price listing for last year. Oh,
I don't even want to see. I've already started. I'm like, it
wasn't a C-note. It was a lot more than a C-note. But no, so it really breaks down to, I mean, this is just us talking about the pricing and stuff. Listen, I love conventions. I love the community that they inspire.
Yeah.
And you get to find a bunch of things that maybe you wouldn't have found before. But at the same time, you have to understand that there is an element to it where price gouging is ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of these celebrities that are there, they don't set their own pricing because they have other people that are doing it. And the problem is, too, especially when it comes to sports celebrities, athletes tend to, people want to resell them. And their resellers market is more ridiculous than the actors market. The only thing that I have to say that really is the funniest element is the fact that I get actors, and I will get like wrestlers and stuff, but I get their autographs, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay. And they charge normally relatively fair prices. Yeah. I'm not looking to resell. And when they ask me if they're making it out to someone, I want it made out to me. Yeah. Because I'm not, this is for my memories. This is for me. When other people are just showing up and they've got like a big thing of trying to get a ton of stuff signed.
That's $1,000 right there.
That makes the sense because those are the people that are reselling. And I understand that that's a business for them. However, it slows down the line. It causes more headaches because
and they put a limit on for a lot of people and everything.
And they have to.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But at the same time, sports collectors make fun of people who collect other things. Whether you're collecting Funko Pop art figures, that you're getting the Funko figures signed, or if you're getting just autographs from actors, or you're getting props signed. You're all fans.
Yeah.
When you're making fun of people, I'm sorry, but here's the thing. You're going to make fun of people who play video games and call them nerds and stuff. You do realize that you are buying a bunch of jerseys for your favorite athlete.
And you're a sports nerd.
You're a sports nerd, and not only are you a sports nerd, but you're cosplaying as the athlete because you're wearing their jersey, their number. You're sitting in the crowd acting like they're going to pull you into the game. You're just as big a nerd as everyone else. So let's just put the pretexts aside here and get to the point that you are a fan of something. So if you're a fan of something and you take it to a fanatical level where you're buying figures or somebody's ball, a glove, their boots that they wore, if you're buying anything from an athlete or an actor where even if it's just getting an autograph photo, it means something to you. Don't crap on other people for liking things and wanting to be able to be a part of that, their memories, their experiences.
Please, I remember I was waiting online for Evans and Tom Hiddleston, and Clark Gregg and Kobe Smulders are going around. Who needs autograph? Clark Gregg thanked me for like someone needing autograph. I'm like, it's like, yeah. I says, yeah, and he's like, thank you.
Yeah,
that was the best. And everybody else is like, I just got off the line with Mark Hamill. How much? It was $200. I'm like, go away. Meanwhile, Jason Mewes is writing "I eat ass" on somebody's autograph, which was the best. yes. We still have to.
I've met Jason.
He is one, and then he goes, "Where's O'Halloran? Where's O'Halloran?" When me and my nephew were up there, and he didn't charge anybody. That was the coolest part.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know.
And he's down to earth.
Yeah, it's about the fans and it's about the interaction because the fans are the ones that make a good portion of celebrities and athletes. If you don't have fans, then you don't have someone appreciating what you do. So why are you doing it in the first place?
Exactly. I mean, it's like when I go to, let's say, a certain shop in Clifton, New Jersey, Stu Leonard's, where I meet the gentleman and the icon himself because he's looking at his Stewie the Duck program, Stu Leonard. And he'll be there looking at with his beautiful dog at what's coming in, his products and everything. I say hello and all, and it's like, hey, how you doing? And he'll give you 5 minutes of his time, so he knows you're coming from Staten Island and getting there in a half hour, Stu Leonard. And I'm doing the freaking Jericho thing. You're bald, but and then he's like, listen, can I get a picture? Yeah, absolutely. And he appreciates that I'll put him online and everything else. I'm like. But there's somebody, I'm just a fan, but at least I respect his business, respect why he's doing stuff, and I explain to people, you know why he's doing the Stewie, and I explain it, and they're like, oh, wow. And everybody's like, thank you. I'm like, listen, I just listen on the radio with it when he puts his ads up, or get it on his email.
So now let's get off of this tangent, and we're going to jump right in, and let's start talking of... We're going to first start because there's only one episode that we have not covered, which would be the season finale of season 4 of Invincible. Now, I have to say, I don't honestly know how people are sitting there not talking more about how Invincible ended for the season, because the emotional range that went through from the end of the war to coming back home, trying to be prepared for the Viltrumites to find where they went, and then finding out where they went and what they're up to. So, I mean...
They did an alienation.
Yeah, but at the same time, they also did something else. Because when you look at what was going on, you figure they left off this plot thread and they did come back to it. Eve being pregnant, Eve going and... her dealing with everything with Mark not being there, you know, so her going through the medical stuff herself. So she had a lot to deal with on her own. And I like the fact that they showed, like, she had gained weight while he was gone. She was a little self-conscious about her, how she looked. But it made sense because she had gone through something traumatic.
Yeah.
So even as an animated character, we're seeing this and we're seeing the changes that are going on. There's the emotional resonance of going on. We didn't know that Mark's mom broke up with Paul.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're finding this out.
You've only been gone for how many years?
Well, they were gone for several months.
Yeah, several months.
And it was like about 2 months that Mark was incapacitated. So it really broke down too. They did a lot of stuff in this season alone. And the thing is, though, when you look, the Viltrumite Empire really was a complete and total, like, dictatorship that was invading other countries. They had one leader telling them what to do, going out there and conquering other worlds. It kind of was its own Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And the thing was that you're looking at the way the Viltrumites look at things. They realized by the time that they left, they were like, you know what? There's less than 50 of us left at this point. What are we doing? It's like, we need to come up with something better. Thrag is an actual leader, but he's not the leader that they need. He's the leader that he's
like a general.
Yeah, because he's under the entire, like, thought process of, we're going to conquer everything. It's like, it's time to change. Your empire is so small and everyone's been rebelling against you. So if everyone's rebelling against the Viltrum Empire, is it really an empire at that point?
No. And no, Mark with his PTSD, and it was off the freaking charts. Every instance, every situation, Thrash comes up. He's like, you think you can get away from me? Thrash comes up. You think you're going to get away from me? And he kills his mother. You think you're going to get... He got into his head.
Oh, he was completely in his head. Everything, Mark really went through the traumas of war. And it took a lot for him to ask Cecil to be able to, he was like, you recommended that there was maybe somebody I could talk to. And it's like, we'll have that set up. So Mark's got a lot to deal with, and waiting for season 5.
Yeah.
I can only imagine where this is going to go. Even though it's like, you can go back and read the comics, but they have made some changes to things, especially because, there were rights for certain characters that couldn't make appearances, But, oh my God, this season was absolutely amazing. And when you have a fight sequence where Oliver's jaw is punched off of his entire skull and is floating in outer space, it's amazing that they are putting them back together. And
he's got robotic on everything now. Like, I think one side of him is all his arm. Was
Mark? No,
not Mark. Oliver.
I don't know if it's robotic or they were replacing it.
Yeah, because they had him in.
Well, remember, they ripped it off. Ooh. It wasn't like it was gone. It's not like it got eaten by something.
And they told him, Mark told him, don't go facing Thrag alone.
Yeah, but in the heat of combat, completely understandable that the kid thought, it's like, you know what, maybe somebody else could jump in at the same after. It's like he's going to try to distract him. Problem was, they were already ambushed by the Viltrumites because they hid among the bodies in the ring of the planet. And now that planet of Viltrum is completely gone.
Yep.
But the fact that it's like, there is still the virus. And the traitor they just wants Alan to use the virus. And he doesn't care about Mark, Omni-Man, or Oliver, who helped them out. Doesn't care. He just feels all the Viltrumites need to be eradicated. And, I mean, that's some Yahtzee kind of stuff going on there with that mentality of wiping out an entire populace. It is the wrong mentality of coming after them, but you can understand where he's one of them. Now, he's not with us anymore, but leaving it to Alan to have to figure this all out.
It's big.
This is going to play a major part in whenever season 5 does come out. Now, we're going to jump right into the boys, though.
Oh, yes.
Because the boys, so much to talk about. You figure, like, right now, I mean, we're already hearing Aaron Moriarty is not watching the final season because of the health issues. It's giving her kind of PTSD. And I want to say, for Aaron, I completely understand and understandable, but your performance, even if you don't feel like it was up to par, it was absolutely there for the headspace that Annie was in at the start of this season and even going through. So the changes, like, I understand what she was going through, not directly, but I can completely understand it. And having Annie be so distant while the guys are all locked up inside this
concentration camp in a way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, like, I don't know how anyone is missing the overt and blatant references to what's going on in our society today.
To this.
Yeah.
Except for getting the shit beaten out of you, pardon my French, by a guy with a 2-foot.
Listen, Love Sausage.
Yes, let's go with the Love Sausage on that.
That was the name he was given.
Oh, God.
The character's name is Love Sausage. And if you remember, back in the earlier seasons, Mother's Milk was the one that referenced it being Love Sausage. But it was one of those things where, you know, we're seeing, like, they've got a bunch of soups controlling these concentration camps or re-education camps, however they want to call them. The conditions that they're putting them under, trying to use Huey, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk as bait to get Starlight and
and whoever else
Butcher
they can get. Stan.
Yeah, it's, you know, they already got that. That's the thing. They were trying to get anybody and get that resistance out of there. But you can't shut down this resistance.
No.
Now,
they'll find another way.
But the lies they told when A-Train comes to save them, and he helps out Starlight and Butcher, the fact that Kimiko can actually talk now.
You can talk now? Yeah.
I just love the fact that it's like she doesn't say anything to Butcher, and then when she sees Starlight, she's having this huge conversation, and it's like, the entire ride here, you couldn't say anything to me? And her response was, yeah, because all you ever say is, oi, 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 cunt, cunt, cunt. I was dying.
Yeah.
It really was hilarious. And I think one of the funnier things has been now, because I didn't realize it, and then there was a clip that came out from one of these fan events that Anthony Starr was also in Hercules and Xena.
Oh, gosh, that's too funny.
So you now have Carl Urban and Anthony Starr, both been in The Boys, but they were both on Hercules and Xena.
I didn't even realize Carl Urban was in Hercules and Xena. I almost forgot.
He was in Xena as like two different roles because he was Cupid, but then he was also Caesar.
Oh, gosh, that's too funny.
Yeah. So, and Anthony Starr happened to be playing David. For the David and Goliath of, I believe it was all on Xena, but it was just like, oh my God, these, like, seeing where some of these people came from, looking back, like, these guys have been together for quite a while on different shows, even if they didn't interact, and everything that's going on now. I mean, by the time they went, you're seeing now Black Noir.
Who can talk?
Which we know he can talk, but he's decided that it's like he was going to go full method actor.
Yeah.
And it's like he's hanging out with the Deep. The Deep
is a douche.
He's always been
a douche.
But I have to say, the bro podcaster thing. And as a podcaster, I have to say, yo, that is like, if you couldn't catch some of those references of what they were doing and what they're talking about, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. When the Deep is sitting there, a guy who is having a relationship with an octopus is telling men that having sexual relations with women is gay. And
mind you, this is a guy that sent a message to Noir's director for the Bee Gees Broadway show that he wants to do. He sent it through the toilet in the last episode. I like to plead insanity to that one, but it's roll off the floor laughing on that one.
Listen, the fact that they brought back Soldier Boy, they send Soldier Boy after Butcher and everybody, the viruses that was developed.
You didn't fuck me up the ass, did you?
Listen, there is so much.
And how many times did he do Firecracker? That's not what you said. The last 6 times.
Yeah, listen, they've gone off the deep end, but the Vought stuff that they do is hilarious because I don't think that the people that they're poking fun of have caught on to the fact that they're being made fun of so blatantly. Firecracker is primarily being portrayed as one of these right-wing propagandists who's spreading this propaganda, and it is testing her actual faith. And look at what it got her. So it's not getting you anywhere.
You mean her head?
Spoiler.
Oh yes.
I'm that's the most recent episode.
That's the recent episode.
So I'm trying not to go. You got to give spoiler warnings, Jimmy.
Yes, the spoiler on that one was gosh.
But listen, one of the best things though from the most recent episode really was seeing the Supernatural boys back together again of Jensen Ackles, Jared Padalecki, and Misha Collins. Even though they did made sure that they had a bunch of actual actors playing themselves.
Seth Rogen.
Listen,
Christopher Mintz-Plasse. But the way that episode went.
Oh yeah.
Folks, spoiler alert. Please sit on the floor or sit somewhere where you're comfortable for that episode. I will tell you that. I mean, one other thing that gets me is you got Daveed Diggs there as this pastor.
The evangelical preacher for the church that after the original guy has since disappeared.
I mean, and then you got, and who's his wife but Ashley Barrett. Yep. Barrett's his wife, and yet she's playing dual roles.
She's playing dual roles, but not only is she playing a dual role, she's also playing both parts of the relationship, considering, we saw what happened after the two of them spent their husband and wife time together, and he had a hard time walking away.
Not only that,
take that with what you will.
It's what ended up in the wall afterwards.
But I will say, he has a pretty cool power of that sonic voice.
Well, I've always known he's got a good singing voice and everything.
The voice that they gave him, that sonic voice to be able to project his voice, makes him a good character as a portrayal for that preacher aspect.
I didn't realize I had to look it up again to be like, nah, that can't be. And then I had to look it up on IMDb, and it was Daveed Diggs because the way he looks.
Yeah.
And everything, because usually you see him with a nice little fro or something like that.
Well, because he's not playing Thomas Jefferson right now.
He's not playing Thomas Jefferson, and he's not playing the teacher in Wonder.
Yeah. Which
was still a great role for him, too.
But that's the thing. They've got so many people, but the Supernatural boys being back together.
Oh, yeah. That meme that you sent me was hysterical. But really, you had to make that. Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to the new members of the Seven.
That wasn't even a meme. That was the short video that these guys did.
That was really. This is how you waste a Reynolds wrap. We have a crisis going on with oil, and you're wasting aluminum.
Look, the thing is that these guys together, they've worked together for so long. Seeing them all on screen together, playing off each other, it works so well. And I'm sad that it's for one episode.
Not only that, it's how he had to get rid of him in that one episode. What he used. I'm like, why did they bring that issue in?
Listen, they basically were poking fun even at Diddy. No, but they hit Diddy with with the oil hitting the floor and stuff.
I did not want. That's why I didn't want to touch that. I didn't want to go there.
Listen, I'm
glad you did. Yeah. I have no problem, but I'm like, really? Listen, it's not as crazy as some guy in Louisiana going down the highway in a KFC cart. I guess they said it was run on 11 herbs and spices. How'd it run? Finger licking good. I'm like, God darn it.
Oh. No, just, dude.
No.
No.
Not as crazy as I know where everybody. Listen, 2020. I found out where all your toilet paper was. It was in Las Vegas on Sunday. Did you see Trick Williams' train?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't.
We're not touching that one.
Listen,
that's enough.
Look, the one thing I'm going to say about WrestleMania was screw you for how short the women's matches were, and why the hell were there that many fucking commercials for what you're charging people for entrance fees in there? What happened to the promo packages to get people excited for the upcoming match?
Yeah.
No, you gave us Pat McAfee. Screw you. Just on Pat McAfee alone. Screw you. You ruined an entire storyline.
Yep.
That was a simple storyline to tell. But I did not need to see how many times you were going to go on 2 nights of showing the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix of him wearing his wife's tights when he decided to go and become the bad guy in the NWO. Like, that same story, you told it so many times. You told the same sequence again about how, oh, I got the greatest finisher in all of wrestling. No. I'm sorry. Hogan is a legend when it came to the business, but that was for what he did, bringing it to the mainstream. Outside of that, I just don't want to touch anything on that.
Nope.
And I did not need to see that many commercials. I get it. I will say some of the entrances stuff was really cool. Penta as Shao Kahn. You had Rey Mysterio dressed up, Deadpool. So you had a lot of great stuff. And then
having Trick Williams come out with about 40 feet of toilet paper.
That was the longest bridal train I've
No,
ever
that was
seen.
toilet paper that was wasted. Nice going, ESPN, you son of a bitch.
Well, other than that, now back to our original scheduled program. No, so The Boys has been hitting all of the high notes, and if anyone is not picking up on who they are making fun of, I've got something sad to tell you. If you're not getting who they're making fun of, it's probably you.
Yeah.
Now, understand that, because I'm not saying this to make fun of you. I'm saying that you're probably the person that watched Star Wars and rooted for the Rebels and realized you haven't figured out yet. You're still standing with the Empire.
Yep.
And I'm saying that in that term because by the time this comes out, we will be in Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, Cinco de Mayo, and Revenge of the 6th. So with that being said, happy Star Wars Day, motherfuckers.
Yep.
No, that's 80s crank phone calls. We don't do that. Just heavy breathing into the phone is creepy enough as it is.
I am your father. Great. Where's my mother? I ate her.
That's impossible. That's highly improbable. No, but so now I'm going to break this down for a minute, and I'm going to go and talk about Daredevil Born Again because...
Go right ahead.
Yep, so camera's on me.
Whoa. Whoa, that show.
No. But like I was saying, so Daredevil Born Again season 2, we finally got in the latest 2 episodes, we got what we were waiting for, which was the introduction to Jessica Jones, seeing Jessica Jones back, but also they've kind of did something fun, which she has a daughter, and not only does she have a daughter, but her powers aren't acting 100%. So she's trying to figure this all out, but she is trying to help out Daredevil. And we're seeing Fisk dealing with the loss of his wife. So Vanessa's gone, and Fisk is going on the unhinged train. Daniel, of course, a Staten Island guy, Gandolfini's son, doing his thing of trying to work for Fisk and not screw over BB and putting him in a moral quandary there. Karen getting herself arrested, and the traitor to the anti-vigilante task force being shot by one of the guys on the task force and them using that as an excuse to start a riot blaming a vigilante for taking him down. You know, things are really picking up. There's so much stuff that's going on, and Jessica needs to step back. We find out, like, we get a hint of what's going on with Luke, why we haven't seen Luke Cage. So they've already hinted for season 3, we're going to be seeing Luke Cage. We're going to be seeing Iron Fist. We'll see more of Jessica Jones. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming down.
Sounds like they're going to go into gangland.
It seems like, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. And this is also, season 3 is probably going to be taking place after Spider-Man Brand New Day, because that's where it seems. But May is going to be the final, I believe this upcoming week is like the final episode, because there was, I think, 2 left when I last checked, so I think there's 1 left. And with there being 1 left, then we go into the Punisher's limited series or movie. I didn't check to see if it was a movie or if it was an actual like limited run series, but we've got that to look forward to. So right now, like, Daredevil Born Again has done such an amazing job. And once again, if you are looking at what's going on and you can't see the criticisms in media of what's taking place, you kind of need to take a step back and take a good look in the mirror, because there are really hitting chords that you can't ignore. And that's the main reason why I even have to bring this up, is they are hitting a lot of important topics, and there is stuff that we can't ignore, because media always puts a spotlight on what's going on in the world around us. Anybody who wants to sit there and try to argue that that's not the case, that's not how things are. You clearly haven't been paying attention throughout your entire life, or you're only watching things for the surface level and you don't ever look deeper into the media.
Didn't we learn all this even in cinema and all our film classes too?
Well, we did, but remember, there's a lot of people that didn't take film classes.
Or history class, or didn't really pay attention to their history classes.
But not only that.
And even their journalism classes.
Listen, but cinema classes, I don't... After what we've sat through for our education, I feel like I could have done a better job educating myself off of the DVD commentary tracks, which taught me a lot more than some of my classes. But the thing is, it's movies and television have always been a reflection of what's going on in society. Even if it's showing you something that makes you uncomfortable, it's for that reason, to either make something better or pointing out, like, this is wrong. So I think this is the time where now everyone needs to, like, really look at what they're watching and see what's going on and not just be as surface level as possible.
Exactly.
But with that one being said, now let's go and jump into...
Let's go through the vault. I got 2 things before that.
What do you got for us?
All right. First off, I know you're not a sports fan, but I had 2 things I watched on Amazon Prime, both documentaries. One was a 4-part. It's called The Soul Power, the story of the ABA, back then with Dr. J, and many other future NBA basketball players, their history lasting through basketball in the United States and how they survived, and also the deep history on it, on basically how it's like a lot of these guys, if they didn't have the ABA, they would have been lost, and if they didn't have the ABA, the NBA would never have slam dunks, 3-pointers, Dr. J, Artis Gilmore, the Iceman, etc. And it shows a lot of deepness into a lot of history and business with the sport. And getting into that, speaking of the business, the logo, which is about Jerry West, is also on Prime, and it came up during the playoffs. It's about a basketball player, basketball executive named Jerry West. Jerry West came up through West Virginia. They showed and explained his life just before he passed, and it shows and details what he went through as a Laker, as an executive, being a consultant for many other teams, and the only other guy in NBA history to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame 3 times. Usually you hear that with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Writers, the Musicians Hall of Fame and everything. But this was something that was interesting because he went in for West Virginia, the Lakers, and being an executive. And he's also another gentleman, like a lot of these sports people, a lot of you sports people know that the number 42 in baseball, Mariano was the last one to wear number 42 with permission from the family of Jackie Robinson. When he retired, that number fully went. In West Virginia, whether it's lacrosse, field hockey, football, basketball, baseball, the number 44 is the same way. Now, again, let's get back into the vault to our movie topic. All right, we just wanted to discuss and go back to the 80s of a lovely subject from I believe it's 88, 89, give or take, of something called Labyrinth, where we meet Sarah in the woods, reading this book on Labyrinth, talking about goblins and all these little magical creatures and everything, and you see this white owl, but you don't know who the white owl is yet as it goes along. She heads home, and she's got to watch her brother, little baby brother, Toby, that the stepmother has her watch. Well, she opened her book, and she said that magical words, "I wish you weren't around," and then, yeah, he left after a bunch of goblins got him, and you see David Bowie, the Goblin King himself, who looked amazing as Jareth the Goblin King. And great songs by him, by the way, also.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
It's Bowie.
That's absolutely. And you have to figure out that she is now drawn into this, I want to get my brother back here and everything. Why did you take him? Okay, fine. You want him? You go. You come get him. Go to the castle. The only problem is the castle's right after a labyrinth, which she has to go through Hogarth, or as if you caught this now, you'd be laughing your butt off. Or if you caught it back then, just as you were reading it, they used the words Hogwarts. Yes, I caught it 3 times. She kept calling Hogarth Hogwarts. No, my name is Hogarth. And everything. And it was just too funny. All the different ways to go, and don't go over the stinky river. I mean, I wish they had smell-o-vision for that, just to make you. I know, just to make you laugh at it. Like, how bad was this that they didn't want you to go through? But the one thing that also one little key theme was fairness. She had 13 hours to go get Toby. That was fair, correct? I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had to open her mouth, and what happened was, fine. You say it's a piece of cake? Fine. I'm going to make it fair. I'm going to take some time off. All right, smart Alec? Boom. But the fairness of it all is, you have to be fair to everybody you meet, you see on the path to your life and everything else. That's the hidden meaning in this. Also, if you didn't catch it with Sarah's character and every character there, because even the Goblin King wasn't fair to half those goblins. You look at them. But all in all, I'll say this and recommend, it's still a great movie, whether you own it, whether you want to rent it. It was on I believe it was Netflix, and it's something to enjoy.
Yep. Labyrinth is basically one of those early movies that still holds up today. Jim Henson's Creature Shop has always done some amazing work, and
yes,
this was Jim Henson's work in its finest at that point in time. I mean, they've done so much more, and they've enhanced all of their techniques over the years, but like the creativity and like the hands all coming together, forming like the different faces and everything. There was so much inventive stuff that was going on there. The creatures looked amazing. All the little goblins looked very different from each other, so they were all distinct.
The rocks.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. There was so much going on, and of course, it's a young Jennifer Connelly who her career has continued on. She's still extremely talented.
Do you know who else's young work was during this movie? I don't think anybody realized. I didn't realize until I watched it now. This was probably his first movie, Brian Henson. Because remember, Brian Henson took the torch over at Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Because Jim Henson had passed, but he also did the right thing, is passing it at the time when it was good to Disney.
Yeah.
He passed the Muppets to Disney and everything, which was great.
Yeah.
And all. I mean, that was one of the few things that went to Disney besides Touchstone, which had the records and everything, because Queen had also signed with Disney at the time, and they started putting out expanded CDs and cassettes at the time. Yes, even cassettes they were putting out. I know, both. After Freddy died, he put them in good hands. After Jim died, he put them in good hands for a bit. And then they went to Hallmark, and then they came back, and they've been bouncing like a ping pong ball. But they just need to be on their own.
Listen, no matter what happens, it's really the funniest thing in the world is Hallmark is absolutely terrible. Because they're telling literally the exact same story over and over again. How many times can somebody from the city go to a small town and meet somebody, and all of a sudden it's like it turns their life upside down and they meet the love of their life?
Which holiday are we talking about on this one? Every holiday.
Exactly. Like I said, terrible. It's, I get it. It's the small comfort for people so they can watch something new. It's great to be able to mindlessly turn your brain off. But unfortunately, when you turn your brain off, you fall into the category of people who don't understand the context of what's going on. So now, the one interesting thing is, because I have to say this, because we're going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yes.
And did you know that Jim Henson's Creature Shop created the animatronics for Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah. So one of the funniest elements is that when you look back at the history of Jim Henson's Creature Shop, Jim Henson had such an issue when it came to violence after they had done the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animatronics and everything. They went, and for the second movie, they thought the first one was too violent for Henson, so they went and they toned it down. That's why Michelangelo doesn't use his nunchucks. You see him using like sausage links, and they're using like yo-yos. Yeah. They're fighting with a bunch of stuff, not really using their actual weapons. So it's like now you got the Creature Shop all these decades later to go and do Five Nights at Freddy's.
Not only that, didn't he also do that, the Happy Time Murders too?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
they did. Brian Henson did the Happy Time Murders, and how dirty was that?
Yeah. Now, before we go any further, if you're enjoying anything that we've been discussing about and you'd like to mention it,
I apologize. We failed to mention this. Can you please email us at
dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word, Dragoon spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. Now,
sorry.
Yes, we did not get a cheap pop and plug in just yet, so I felt that was a little necessary.
Yes.
But we also needed to go and let you guys know that we do have the polls, everything that's on the Spotify page. I want you guys to make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because if you don't do that, it makes it harder. But if you guys are interested, you can go and leave us a tip on our Ko-fi page. The Ko-fi page is listed on our Facebook group, Dragoon Slayer Podcast. It's, I believe, like the pinned thing on the very first one. If you can help us out by making donations to the show, I will also open up things that if you'd like to make a donation, send us an email at dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word. Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslayerpodcast@gmail.com. If you make any donations to us, you can recommend a movie or a show for us to check out, and that can be put on a priority list for us to be able to take a look at. So I'm trying to open things up for you guys to want to help engage, but also in this uncertain times of the world and strife, we're trying to make a better product for you guys out there, and we don't have any sponsorships. So the best way to help us out would be to make a small donation. It doesn't have to be anything major. Even if you're going to just tip us like $1 or $2 here or there, we would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you could buy any of the t-shirts that I have put up, or merchandise for the Teespring store that is available on Blue Dragoon 13. It is listed on the Blue Sky account. It's the very first pinned comment, or the second, I don't know. It's been a while. There's that one, and there's also a fun little t-shirt that's there too, that if you guys could purchase, I would greatly appreciate it, because I could definitely use the money to help keep the show going strong. Other than that, now we're going to jump back in. So we've got Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I love the first one.
Yeah.
I do not really know the full lore. I've never really played the games. I tried playing, I think, the first game, but I just...
Never got into the games. I looked and I seen that Funko is a big... this is one of their second little babies in life.
Yeah.
And everything. And it was a regular action figure.
Yep.
And everything. And they're amazing. They're all...
Now, this one picks up after the events of the first movie, which is greatly appreciated that it does pick up after. And you basically do follow that what they're doing really breaks down to, it's like everybody's trying to move on with their life and they're not able to. And the resurgence of the mythos of Freddy Fazbear's has created Fazfest, which is causing a whole other stir. And it was a franchise location that this one starts off with having another puppet.
Murder.
Well, it has another puppet as well that is involved in this, the Marionette.
Charlotte.
Which, well, that it's originally the Marionette and eventually deals with Charlotte being the possessor of the Marionette. But it really goes, and it goes deeper into the lore, I think, a little bit. What I did like is we do have Skeet Ulrich shows up in this one.
It's nice to see him and Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, having them back in another...
Scream reunion.
Yeah, you're getting a nice little reunion of the guys, even though you don't see them interacting. But the expanded mythos, you know, they're still like... It's not gruesome and gory, which I appreciate for certain aspects, because there are some things in there that are a little creepy, but not to that extent of like, oh wow, they didn't go for like a gore fest, which is appreciated at times, because some horror movies can go overboard. I don't think this one did. I think anybody who's a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise would typically enjoy this one, but I'm sure there's also people who are going to have some issues with it, because I'm sure there's some deviations in the story and the way the characters are. But, you know, that's to be expected from any franchise at this point, because you can only be faithful to a certain extent when you have as wide a mythos as you do when it comes to like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Now, you did watch the whole movie, correct?
Of course.
So you did catch the end credit.
Yeah. Because,
or more like the end message.
Well, there's the teaser, because there is supposed to be a third installment that will be coming out. So waiting on that one.
I look forward to that too.
Yep. So, I mean, there's so much that they did in this, and having two different versions of the animatronics. So it's the spirit of the kids, and now there's this whole other thing that's they're dealing with the Marionette controlling the other animatronics.
I still like when he puts up the mask and it's like, whoop, okay, no problem.
Yeah,
he had to keep putting up the mask
until it stopped working.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where I enjoyed this one. I would recommend seeing this one and even the first one, because they weren't long movies, they weren't too in-depth, and I think if you don't know anything about the franchise itself, other than it was based off of like some video games, then you will go and be able to enjoy it. And I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed it very much.
I did find it fun that you had McKenna Grace in this one.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I'm looking. I'm like, where is she? Where? And then it's like Lisa.
Yeah.
And then you find out who this guy Mike is, and it's like, oh shoot, it's her brother.
Yeah.
So basically, that's how it links her, the father.
Spoilers.
Yep.
Spoilers for anybody who hasn't. I have to.
Yeah, true.
You need to start saying spoilers.
Spoilers. Well, I keep forgetting that this has been out a while.
It came out last year, but
Yeah.
towards the end of last year, but it's one of those things where you kind of
Have to remember.
that there may not be people who have seen it yet, so there are certain things you may want to not spoil.
And remember, it's on Peacock, too.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, so I mean, it was also available as a rental on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
so there's plenty of stuff to deal with there. You know, it's definitely an enjoyable movie. I think it'll be a lot better after, like, my opinion of it may go up after we get a third installment.
Yeah.
Because this left off in such a way that there was a little bit of an incomplete feeling there, because knowing they're doing another one. So knowing that they're doing another one in this franchise, it left like kind of a little bit of like that spatial gap of, okay, I enjoyed it, but there was still more, and you're leaving me on a cliffhanger.
It's nice that even Josh Hutcherson is expanding his franchises more besides the Hunger Games, which is now expanding more with the prequels, and he has this now, which is good for him. He's getting around.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's the thing. We've got so many other things to look forward to. So we've got more stuff coming down the pike, because we're definitely going to be following up with The Boys, because I think there's still a couple more episodes
I think one or two more left.
Yeah, so...
And I know speaking of anime, is coming back to Netflix.
Which one would that be again?
Devil May Cry.
You know, I love the first season.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do to pick this one up, because, you know, I have to sigh on this one, mostly because Netflix kind of leaves some things on anime like a little more, like they're not promoting it as much. So I even forgot about this.
I found out because it's like coming soon.
And that's the thing. It pops up at the end of certain things, but there's so many other things that Netflix tries to curate for individuals, but at the same time, their curation process isn't 100% good. So you're trying to figure out like where certain things stand. It can be a pain in the ass.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's like Netflix original anime, I sometimes have a problem with, mostly because it's in Netflix jail, takes longer to come out. But that's the same problem that I also have with Disney, where at least Netflix advertises their anime a little more.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't even tell you what they have.
No.
And I will say this because I said this to somebody recently. One of the funniest things is, because Disney doesn't promote their anime, I don't think they know what they have, because they just licensed a bunch of stuff. And two of the most unfamily friendly anime that you could put up, which most people say they're Gooner animes. I still love High School DxD. It's more adult in content, but if you've ever read like the light novels, then you would understand that there's so much more than what you're getting just from the anime itself. But then they have High School of the Dead, which... why these two things can be viewed on Disney Plus is hilarious to me, because if you just put these things on because you're not paying attention, and it's like, oh, my kid likes anime, I'm going to show, like, I can put this on. They're mature rated for a reason. And I can't tell you the number of times someone's come in, and while I'm watching like High School DxD, and I get the dirty look, and it's like, it's actually good. Just because you don't like the fan service doesn't mean that it's not good.
I'm still cracking up that people, like, you say that, it's like, people like, oh yeah, let's watch Sausage Party. No, you have kids. Watch it when they go to bed.
And that's the problem. There's a rating system for things on purpose. Listen, if you want your kids to watch it, that's on you. I'm pretty sure CPS will be called on you at some point.
We warned you, and I don't want to hear from ACS like, hey, do you know this person? No.
Nope. That's why we recommend checking the rating system that is there for a reason.
It comes on before the show starts.
Or when you're looking at it, you can see, like, in the description of what it contains, they tell you there's a reason why certain episodes for One Piece will say that it has drinking, smoking, profanity. It says substance abuse. It says certain things that are there.
They also talk about the health issues with people that can't watch the flashing lights. Don't you want
Seizures?
Yep.
Couldn't figure the word?
No, basically, but at least the flashing light issue on it and everything.
Well, that's what causes the seizures.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been fixed a long time ago. Thank you, Pokemon, for bringing that to everyone's attention.
Oh, please. I still crack up. Someone can't watch Poltergeist because of that.
Yeah, but because of the flashing lights, there is the sensitivity warnings that are on there. So, I mean, there's something for everyone to watch, and there's plenty to enjoy. It's just a matter of knowing what you can watch, what you should watch, what you shouldn't. There's a reason why we do this, which is to give people recommendations, so that
suggestions and
this kind of tells you, like, what we're doing is we're going to give you our opinion, but we're at a point where none of this bothers us. No. There are certain things that bother me about watching certain movies and shows, and I don't watch those.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can steer you away from something that might not be appropriate for all ages, we picked some horror movies in the past that could be watched by younger viewers, so they get something that's scary, but not something that's gonna give them complete and total nightmare paralysis for multiple weeks in a row, causing parents to now be like, what did you guys tell us to watch?
I know.
My kid won't get out of my damn bed.
Not our fault.
That's on you.
We warned you.
Yep. So now we've got a lot of other things that we're going to be discussing. So Jimmy and I are going to wrap things up because we've got to figure out what we're watching for the next episode of the Dragoons Lair
Besides
podcast.
the boys.
Exactly. But before we do that, Jimmy, can you tell everyone how they can reach out to you?
You can reach out to me on Blue Sky, James925, Snapchat, all lowercase on these, James SI0925. Facebook is James Haynes IV. That's capital letters there. And Instagram and Threads, all underscore lowercase. James H _ the fourth. TikTok James0925. I was given a special plug asked by a good friend, a nice chef named Adam Sobel. Anybody that likes a nice spice with their pizza or even on toppings of tacos and steaks, chicken, pick up some Sobellini pizza spice. Whether you get it with or without the black truffle, it's an amazing thing. You can check out his Instagram page, Adam Sobel, and also to BoobTube Toys. Thanks again, Heath. We had a nice discussion on all the shows we've been watching and everything, and glad to see you. And remember, he's at 18 and 19 over in Englishtown Mall in the Blue Building. That's a good mouthful.
And remember, folks, we do not have any paid advertisers with what Jimmy just did. We should have paid advertisers. So, Jimmy, you might want to talk to people about
I am talking to them, and we're trying to get it.
Okay, other than that, you can find me, Blue Dragoon 13, on all my socials. That would be on Snapchat, Blue Sky, Instagram. YouTube channel is Blue Dragoon 13. You can find me on Threads. We have the Blue Dragoon is everywhere for my socials, including my Twitch channel. So it makes it easy to find me, and you can do the easiest thing of all. Find one social, go into the link in the socials, and you'll be able to find the link tree to get to all the other socials, including the Discord group. If you join there, we can build a community there that hopefully we'll be able to do some kind of events there as well. But and also find me, Blue Dragoon 13, on TikTok. We have the Facebook page for the Dragoons Lair podcast, which is Dragoons Lair podcast Facebook page. There's also Dragoon's Lair Official on Instagram and Threads, where you can follow the reels, the shorts. We have all the videos come up on TikTok. We also have them on the YouTube Shorts, along with being able to listen to every single episode of the Dragoon's Lair podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, as well as Audible. Not only that, but you can watch it 1 week after it comes out on the YouTube channel. But if you can't wait, you can watch the video version on what? Spotify.
Bye.
So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you out there. But remember, we also go and we want your actual opinions. We want to hear from you guys. And the best way to do that is to email us at dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. All one word, Dragoon is spelled with 2 O's. That's dragoonslairpodcast@gmail.com. Now, you can leave us messages on the Instagram page for Dragoon's Lair Official. You can leave us comments. We appreciate all of them because I do respond back to a good number of them. Sometimes I can't respond to all of them. Some of them are one word and there is no way to just respond to that. But I appreciate each and every comment. Make sure you leave us a like, share, subscribe, do all the things. It helps people find us. It also drives up our numbers, which makes us hopefully able to make some money off of this, and we can get some other advertisers. I will say once again, I did reach out to Michaela Hoover, and I'm doing that in this fashion as well to hopefully be able to get an interview with you, because I have become a fast fan.
Oh, yes.
And I would...
Tony Choppa.
Yep, and that and Cat Grant, it's just two of the portrayals that I've seen recently that I would love to have a discussion with you about, as well as other projects that you're working on.
And Michaela, please tell Mr. Gunn the invitation is also open to him as well. Okay? We'd like to discuss some DC with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, I want to thank each and everyone for tuning in, listening, and enjoying and spending time with us, because frankly, the world is a dark and scary place right now, and we hope to be that bright spot to give you a little bit of entertainment, so that this way, when I say this to you, you take it as a kind offer. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Now get out.
Later, dudes.